This is the newest optic from Osight. It's the Osight SE. Looks a lot like their Osight S, but this one uses a regular battery instead of charging. Let's see how it does. Today we have a brand new pistol optic from Osight. Say what you will about Olight, but Osight is listening to what their customers want and putting out new models fast AF. It's kind of crazy actually. So I have reviewed, I think this is the fifth Osight model that they have sent me for review. And this is my favorite one yet. So it's exactly, honestly, what I look for in a carry pistol optic. As you guys probably already have known, my favorite carry pistol optic has always been the Holosun EPS carry. You know, it's the micro size and closed footprint. Osight, this is literally their version of that. And in fact, it looks very similar. Enclosed pistol optic with a multi-reticle system, a 32 MOA circle and a 2 MOA dot. But this one, unlike their other ones that had the charging cap that went on them, this one just uses a side-loading battery tray. Simple and proven design. The one place where I think a closed emitter red dot is very important is on a carry gun, because that way it doesn't fill up with lint when you're carrying it. And I kind of like these Osight ones, they're pretty good. Having used a bunch of these Osight optics now, I actually feel like I trust them pretty good, and this one I do plan to leave on this gun. I'd already been carrying this with the green Osight S. This is the Osight SE. Same, it looks just like the Osight S except for no charging thing there, because it has a regular, I believe it's a 2032 battery, side loading. And to be quite honest, I think I actually like that better. I think that the chargeable capability was a cool idea, but pistol optics last so long these days, it does not take much battery power to have a reticle, protracted off your screen there in a pistol optic. It just doesn't. And so pistol optic batteries in 2025 last for years. I've got pistol optics that, because of this channel, and I want to be able to tell you guys how long batteries last, I've got ones that I haven't changed in like 3 years and they still work. And there's no reason that this won't be the same way. It's got shake awake, which is a big thing that, makes your battery last. Some people think shake awake is stupid, especially on a carry gun, because when you're carrying it, you're moving, it's always going to be awake and on. But I don't see that as an issue, because when I go to bed at night and I put this, in the little safe by my bed, well, then it doesn't move. And so after a few minutes, it turns off and that battery is not being used all night until I pull it out and stick it in my holster and go about my day. And even when it is on, it's not drawing much battery. Think about aim points. Aim points are just always on and they last for years. So I don't really think you need the solar charging. Now, I think that the solar charging is a cool idea to, be able to check it and see what your battery life is at. But honestly, if you're just smart, change your battery once a year if you don't have a YouTube channel, or let it go as long as you think and see what happens, which is what I'm doing with some of mine, and they last for years. The one place that I think that having a closed emitter red dot is pretty much necessary is on your carry gun. I've got no problem using open emitter optics on some of my pistols that I just use pretty much at the range or as like a home defense bedside gun. But the ones that I carry, I like closed emitter ons. And the reason why is this. I used to carry with the Holosun 407K. That's a carry size optic, but it's an open emitter. And it would always get full of lint and crap from carrying it all day. And then, I'd have a hard time seeing through the window. It could block the emitter. I was always having to clean it out, and to try to get in there and dig it out was difficult. Well, not with a closed emitter. If anything gets dirty, you just wipe off the back glass. This video is sponsored by Venice AI. Do you ever wonder what ChatGPT does with your conversations? We all know that our phones, Alexa, everything like that, listens to our conversations and then advertises to us based on what we say. Well, what else are these things doing with our personal information? They're selling it to third parties, including governments. In fact, the director of the NSA, the former director, is now sitting on the board of ChatGPT, which is why I'm using Venice AI. Venice AI is an AI software. It uses open source software that you don't have to download. It goes straight to your web browser, but the biggest thing is that it's private and permissionless. And so you don't have to worry about them selling your information to anybody else, which is kind of why it's a big deal to me. I like privacy, even though I show everything that I do on a YouTube channel. My daughter, she's 13. She uses AI for all kinds of things these days. She's been writing stories with it. She's been making music with it. It is incredible what you can do with AI. It's a very powerful tool, but keep your privacy while you use it with Venice AI. I like the Pro plan personally. It just gives you a lot more that you can do, and you can get a 20% off on your Pro plan if you sign up using my link. That is venice.ai/sawtooth-tactical. Use that code to get 20% off. The code is sawtooth-tactical. I do think that this optic kind of looks perfect on the Shield Plus carry comp here. This gun comes with a 15 round, a 13 round, and this little 10 round magazine. It's hard to get your pinky on, but still. I think this optic looks good on the Shield Plus carry comp here. Like I said, I was carrying the green one, but black does go well with black. And it's a good looking optic. It doesn't have any big white, obnoxious lettering. It's just black. It does have their logoing right there, but it's almost hard to see under certain angles. And, it's just set up the correct way. Windage, elevation adjustments. It's got a rear sight built in. Now with this pistol, not really needed because I can co-witness my sights through it. But that's one of the great things is the low deck height. And with the optics cut on the Shield Plus here, it sits nice and low in the slide, so I can very easily co-witness my irons through it in case the optic did happen to die. I've never had to do that yet on any of my pistols. Optics these days just work. They last, they hold zero, the battery lasts forever. I think pistol optics have been figured out at this point. So then it's just a matter of which features do you want and how durable is it. Now, it's made out of aluminum. It is tough. I've never had one of these break yet. I'm not specifically like hammering stuff with them like some people do. That's just not me because I want it to last and I want to be able to continue to use it. And this one is going to stay on this gun until I have any kind of problem with it, which I'm not expecting to have because it's what I want in a carry pistol optic. If you look at the glass here, so no parallax. I know it's hard to see the reticle on camera. It doesn't look at it the same way an eye does, but there is no parallax that I have found that's an issue whatsoever, and it's very clear. As you can see, you can see through that glass perfectly. There's nothing around the edges that bends the light weird or anything like that, which is nice. Again, it has that donut of death, 32 MOA circle with a 2 MOA dot. That is very clear when you're not looking through a camera. Side loading battery tray. I actually like this. It's an easy battery to come by. It's cheap. Change it whenever you feel like you need to. If you do it once a year, you'll be way ahead of when that battery will die. And then of course, enclosed emitter. And like I said, I think that a carry gun having an enclosed emitter is important because then you're just not cleaning lint and stuff out of it all the time. It's easier. I scratched the hell out of my 407K, always cleaning it out with a Q-tip, and it's almost unusable now. Don't have to worry about that with this. If it does happen to get dirty on either lens, lens cloth, and you're good to go again. If you're in a situation, just wipe it off with your finger, no big deal. Up and down for your brightness settings, and it will get like ridiculously bright if you wanted to, or it'll turn down low enough to actually be able to use under night vision. And I have tested it under night vision, and yeah, it gets very low and still usable with nods. So that is nice. Now I do kind of prefer just a dot with nods. I think having a big reticle can be a little overwhelming under night vision, but let's face it, most people are not generally shooting their smaller concealed carry gun under night vision. Not that this is a small gun, it's a thin gun, but 15 round magazine, 4-inch barrel, it's about the size of a Glock 19. I like the 15 round magazine a little better. This Osight seems to be doing well. Not to keep comparing this to the Holosun EPS carry. I mean, it's hard not to if you look at it. But I did, when I bought this pistol, I originally planned to use an EPS carry on it. But Holosun's K footprint is slightly different than the RMSC footprint, and I ran out of elevation. I couldn't zero the EPS carry on this gun. So I used a 407K for a while. Now I've got the Osight SE on here, and I had no problem zeroing it because it is actually the RMSC footprint. So it mounted up perfectly, it zeroed perfectly. In fact, I took it out to the range. I didn't even adjust it when I first started shooting with it. I feel like I got a very, very close zero just from a laser bore sight in my home. When I got to the range, I seemed to have no issues hitting the target, and so I've made no adjustments, and I feel pretty happy with the zero. As long as this thing holds zero and doesn't have some crazy thing that happens, like phantom battery drain, or I accidentally drop it and the glass breaks, I'm going to continue carrying it. If I do have any issues with it, I will let you guys know, and I'll do an update video. I've done that with other optics in the past. You know that I will tell you if I have problems. But so far, so good. I don't have a whole ton of rounds through it so far, but I have tested it at the range. I have shot it, and it has all of the features and the footprint, the design, what I like in a carry optic. I think that this thing is pretty sweet. And it comes in, again, not constantly trying to compare, but it's a lot cheaper than a Holosun EPS carry. Don't get me wrong, I love my EPS carry. I'm going to continue using that on my, P365 XL there. But I am really glad that Osight makes an optic that's basically the same thing that I can fit on this gun and actually zero, since I couldn't zero the EPS carry on this. RMSC footprint and Holosun K footprint are not exactly the same. The K is a modified RMSC. So with an RMSC cut slide, it's nice to have an RMSC cut optic that is closed emitter, carry size, big window for its size. It's awesome, actually. I really like this optic. And that's the thing. Like I said at the beginning of the video, say what you want to about Olight, because I know people have their opinions about it. But I do think that Osight has been doing a pretty good job of listening to what people want, making the changes, and putting out new models that are exactly what people are asking for. This is what I want in a carry optic, and they basically made exactly that, which is pretty sweet. I mean, if I was going to ask them, if they asked me what features I would want in a carry optic, I mean, it would be exactly this. So, hard for me to complain about that. I do think that they need to put out a closed emitter full-size optic, and I would be willing to bet that they probably will. I gotta admit, this is the 5th Osight optic I've got, and I kind of really like them. I think that they did a really good job with these. Closed emitter, multi-reticle system. It's got all the features that I like on a carry optic. Looks good, sits low in the slide. As long as it lasts and holds 0, I think it's going to stay on this pistol. The more that I shoot this Shield Plus carry comp, the more that I like it. Let me know down in the comments though, if you've used the Osight optics. I know more and more people have, because they come in at a great price, and so far they seem to be pretty good. I know people had issues with the very first Osight that came out, the bigger open emitter one. Although I still have that mounted as a 45-degree offset. It's not currently on the rifle, but right here. This is the very first Osight, and still works great for me. So, but it seems like they are constantly making improvements and updating their product line and coming out with what people want. And so far, I'm very happy with this one. I'm going to continue using it. But I want to know what you guys think and what your experience has been. A lot of people will just say, Osight, oh, Chinese optic, I don't want it. Well, Holosuns are Chinese optics and people trust those. So far, so good for me. I want to know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Make sure you subscribed. From Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.